shutdowns. Hello everyone, it's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. And I have...
Very Yoruba. It's not Morayo.
Enjoying herself as she's looking.
Now I'm trying to
herself.
correct the name. It's not Morayo, it's Morayo.
Morayo.
Yes, it's like people call me Yeni. My name is Omo Yeni.
Omo Yeni.
It's Yeni.
Hi,
Not
YK.
Yeni. Yeni is I own a mat, or a mat fits me. So when they call me Yeni, I'm always offended. It's Yeni.
Okay. How you doing, Yeni?
I'm fine. I'm
I
very
like your
fine.
pair of jeans.
Oh, thank you.
I love everything.
I bought these last year actually.
Where did you in Nigeria?
Never.
No, I didn't.
You don't shop where we shop.
No, I do.
Yeah, right.
She only sees the things that we can never see.
The thing is,
She has eyes.
maybe I'm a shopping person. You know, I love to shop, Sha.
That's why you can only be with the person you are with. Because he obviously appreciates your shopping spree.
He doesn't too.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we fight, go. He doesn't like me shopping.
How are you doing, YK? Who are you shouting out to today?
Oh, a friend of mine, Ken, it's his birthday today.
Congratulations, Ken.
Happy birthday, Ken.
All right, good. Let's move on. For
Also-
Monday, no more shout out. So do your shouting out this week.
You better.
For Monday, no more shouting out, please.
We greet our people. Okay, someone
you
wrote
doing?
my husband a love letter yesterday.
Really?
So I'm waiting to get the copy.
A little
delivered
girl?
today. A girl, a woman wrote my husband a love letter.
Ah,
Saying that she loves him
it's a
very
lie.
much.
From where to where?
And she's a wife material.
It's a lie.
So I got the call from his friend yesterday saying, we all took it like a joke. When he came on, I said, come. Not true? He said yes. I said, I want to say
she's
copy
always
of it.
contradicting herself. Now you they brag for chair. They say
No, sit down.
polygamy. Bring it.
Hey, is that
She don't write say she's eligible.
Hey, he has
So
not
you
said-
say he's entitled to 4 wives.
He has not
You
told me he
see,
wants to marry.
With us,
I'm
when-
saying somebody wrote him a letter, that's all. And
Yeah,
it's his
she's
birthday
telling-
tomorrow.
Okay.
That's all.
Hey, please, I want to sing a birthday song for somebody special.
Very special.
Uncle Theo.
Yes.
YK is not going to say it, but me, I know today is your birthday. Happy birthday, Uncle Theo.
Yeah, in
Happy
trouble
birthday,
today.
Uncle Theo. We are coming to
Uncle Theo,
chop
happy
cake.
birthday
The
today.
singing is not for free.
I can't say it. I'm not there.
Eh?
I'm not there.
Auntie Ellen, the thing not concern you.
Who is Ken when Uncle Theo is
and
having
Uncle
birthday?
Theo,
Who is
we
Ken?
have a relationship.
Okay.
Uncle Theo, we love you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Uncle Theo.
Yeah, so that's one.
Okay, happy
Secondly,
birthday to my husband tomorrow.
I
won't
was
be upset.
warned. Excuse me. The reason I didn't talk about it is because I was warned specially not to mention
it was
it.
you that was warned, not me.
You people have put me in trouble.
No way.
Divorce.
No way. He won't divorce you, YK.
Divorce matter.
We'll make sure he doesn't divorce you. We'll make sure.
But yesterday, I
Okay,
had
you
an
come and see
amazing-
him today.
Yes, I'm coming to eat cake.
Okay.
Yesterday I had an amazing time, Mariah. We were hosting about 20 models at my friend's spa. It was such an amazing time. The girls did not expect it. What they planned for was just to come in for a spa visit and all that. By the time we're done with them, you know, they
They're
got
transformed.
much more. And you know, it's really nice. I think I love my job. I love what I do. You know, touching the minds of individuals at one time or the other.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Well done.
wow.
Yeah.
And I'm actually a judge for that event.
Yeah.
I was surprised when you talked about it.
Where is it again? At Civic Center?
Civic Center, yeah.
All right, so, all right, great. We'll see what we can do.
I hope
Right.
I can
Right,
do
how
it
are you?
properly.
I'm fine. I'm all
I'm
right.
sure you can.
I'm great.
You were threatening somebody this morning.
My husband,
That would be on hot topic.
you know, don't mind my husband. He loves himself too much. Always, how's my skin? How am I? Already, bros, take it easy. You are fine. Man, that jog, I think I should be jogging more. I'm like, no, you're all right. Please. Your husband loves himself too much, but I thank God, Chap. At least.
It's good. At least he will make you love yourself.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
I spoke about self-love yesterday. It's very important.
Right. All right, let's take a break. It's Thursday, it's our gisting day, so we have Praise in the house, in the building. He'll be coming in a bit. But let's first take the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Microphone cable. Thanks for staying with us. Punch. Senate says Democracy under threat as SGF shuns invitation. SANS disagree on Senator's call for Customs CG's resignation. Picture here of 3 killed in UK Parliament terrorist attack. Boko Haram, kingpin arrested in Ekiti. 4 Rivers kidnap suspects killed. Play 2 commissioner dies jogging after attending friend's burial. Suicide, police recover body to analyze doctor's phone. National Assembly okays federal government's $500 million Eurobond request. Ile-Ife, Afenifere mobilizes 100 lawyers to defend suspects. ABU makes a U-turn, keeps mom on Melaye. Fanta Sprite ruling, reps probe NBC others. Onigbinde backs Rohe as Eagles face Senegal today. Right. So which story? The Human Angle, the Play 2 commissioner that died.
Yes, the commissioner for...
Galadima.
That's his name. I'm trying to remember the ministry is heading. Was out on their usual monthly fitness exercise for the
state,
executive, and the governor was with them. And you know, he slumped, and they rushed him to the hospital, but he was declared dead when he got
dead on arrival.
Dead on arrival
you
at
know,
the hospital.
It's a good initiative that the governor actually is putting out to make sure that, okay, they take their health seriously. But the truth is that with exercise, it is important, first of all, to have a clean bill of health before you go to go through any form of exercise. And I think the man did not he didn't I'm sure he wasn't sure that probably had something. He wasn't fit at all, and he didn't know he wasn't fit.
Okay.
And now his age he was age 64 when he passed.
You see, even the fact that it's once a month is enough for him. If he does it if he did it last month and he does it again this month, his body will.
His body, of course.
Exercise
is supposed to be daily.
No matter how fit you are, you can still slump.
Yes, you don't know
because
you have
your heart issues.
No, with this kind of case, Mariah, you would have still be sitting at home and still have slumped. You understand? So it's not. It's just for us to take our health more seriously.
Because I didn't even start jogging. He just came down from the car, and that's when he slumped. So you're right.
Routine checks is very important.
Okay.
Moving on to The Nation. Senators attack Ali, AGF. Lots of quotes here, back and forth. Customs CG on feet should resign. Falana lashes Senate. Boko Haram others. DSS arrest suspects in Ekiti Bauchi. 4 dead in London terror attack. Ile-Ife more knocks for police over arrest. Let's talk about AGF, Ali, and the whole Senate.
You know, when I was in my teens, there was an Ali must go phrase. Like all the students came out rioting. I got caught I was in the bus. So when I just saw the headline, Ali must go, I was like, oh.
Reminds you.
The Nigerian Senate yesterday declared the Customs CG unfit to hold public office because of the affront to the institution of the National Assembly. And, you know, there were very too many grammar going on in plenary, but everybody was saying in plain language. They were unanimous as to his rudeness to them. They don't want and all that. Now, for me, it is a two-way issue. This muscle flexing, everybody is just flexing muscle. You know, I'm your boss, I'm not your mate, and that kind of a thing. Yes. How did we get there is the problem. The CG of the custom.
In minor.
Exactly. You know, shifting our primary to secondary. The secondary duty of the National Assembly is oversight, but their primary is to make laws. We need laws. In fact, there are still areas that are uncovered that they should be having this kind of serious plenary over. But unfortunately, it's the oversight and the Mr. CG is giving them something to talk about.
But the interesting thing is that they have no right to ask him to. They can't sack him.
No,
they are only appealing to the president. Now, if the president doesn't go with their own recommendation,
also disrespect of the institution.
So it's like a disrespect to them, and that might also
politically
have a political
there'll be friction
on that.
between the two of them.
Political friction, right, between the
Yes.
executive and the
So when they
legislative.
need the Senate's approval anytime, they will
say,
when
we asked you, and you see, it shouldn't be. Do you understand?
But the CJ, that's what I'm trying. The CJ himself has issues. You know, he had a very good case that he was fighting, investigating the issues of the cars and everything. You could have just worn your uniform to them and tell them in plain language, corrupt people, this car matter, have you finished investigating?
And after that, drop the uniform and don't go back to it.
And make sure you serve Nigerians. But right now, what he has done...
He's now making it a petty issue.
Nigerians are divided. Even I now am confused as to whose side I should even take.
And it's all ego playing around.
Yes,
ego.
That is it. It is ego.
That's how why women are so different. Because imagine there were just a bunch of women. I mean, this would have been resolved a long time ago. Women have ego issues.
I think that is the most annoying part, is the ego part of the whole show. And then there is the SGF too, who is inside that same story. The SGF that was
what's his name? The one on the northwest.
The one that
the IDP camps that they said
accusing of the 200 million.
Thank you. Imagine him. Everybody's going to court now and claiming everything is subjudicial.
Yes.
He has written to them that I have gone to court on this matter, so I cannot appear before you.
All right.
So the executive cannot continue to give the National Assembly something to talk about like this. When they are invited, they should go for a screening, a probe or whatever.
Okay, let's move on to Vanguard.
Move on.
But our president has been silent in all this. Interesting.
And that's even worse.
Vanguard, sack Customs CG now. Senate tells Buhari he's unfit. We talked about that already. CBN Finance Ministry rift deepens. Fitch ratings reinforce hints on weakening banking industry. Police, DSS slam soldiers over Boko Haram attack. I won't appear before you, SGF tells Senate. I think we talked about most of the major headlines. Let's move on to tension in Ife as more reactions trail Abuja parade. This Ife thing, Yinka Odumake was saying yesterday that they've gotten about 18 lawyers and they're going to get about, hopefully, get about 100 lawyers eventually to help defend the 20 suspects arraigned. Now, they are making it really like a Yoruba versus ethnic, which
they are not making it. Justice should be done and seen to be done. That's
well, you see,
there was a communal clash.
It's not an ethnic
supposedly communal clash. Even if it wasn't ethnic, two people clashed.
Two sides.
Pick everybody.
Two different people.
Two different people.
Hausas and
it's now like they already have 18 Yoruba people and they don't have enough up to who did the Yoruba people clash with exactly?
They clash with themselves. So I think it should be seen, justice should be seen to be fair.
You know, because they have to realize, even if you don't jail any of them, you call both parties together. Yeah. You know, it's like when my brother's kids were fighting the other day, and they I said, come, see the four of you. You must all be friends. Yeah. So that is you must be friends. You are brother and sister.
I think that's what the governor and the Oba has tried to say. We all live together. We've been here for generations. We're all together, and also the case happened in Ife. Yes. Not Abuja. So they're wondering why you carrying out the issue.
At least the closest they should have done was to take the case to Lagos. If they
no,
Lagos.
No, I'm saying if I thought you need to move it anywhere, you don't have to go all the way.
It's a local matter.
There's a court here.
Moving on to Daily Sun. Wike calls for state of emergency in Benue. Demands probe of Plateau's commissioner's death while jogging. And launches Operation Leave the Road in Port Harcourt. Interesting. Lagos Lagoon suicide. Police recover doctor's body. Ali must go. That's what you're referring to. Senate roars. EFCC arrests Abia Accountant General. PDP crisis. Dixon presents report to Bakarafi and Ekweremadu. DSS arrests fleeing Boko Haram chief with AK-47 in Ekiti. All right, so they found Orwell's body.
Yes, they found his body and they're going to analyze it. But I want to deviate a bit because 2 days ago, I don't know if we have become insensitive or what in this country. They found another dead body.
That was not linked
That was
to him.
not, and everybody is taking it as if that's how it's normal for dead bodies to be swimming inside our water.
No, the police has said that they're going to sketch the face and try to see if they can get the family to...
When did they say it?
I read it in the papers today.
Interestingly, my husband was saying that.
The commissioner did say that the person
I hope so,
because nobody spoke about it because everybody was more concerned about the doctor that they saw jump. Yeah. So my husband was saying that can you just picture maybe the number of bodies that might be if they truly want to search for dead bodies inside that water. Take human life seriously.
No, but let's be fair.
No,
we haven't.
Orwell was seen because he jumped from the bridge.
Jumped.
Some people might be jumping every time that
they're not saying.
There won't be that many dead bodies because the truth is, according to what the police had said, after 3 days, even if there's a dead body, it floats.
It will float, yeah.
So if we're not seeing bodies floating around, I'm sure that
are you sure? The only reason they saw this one is because they were there.
I wanted to quickly talk
about how many will be washing up that nobody will see.
Oh, you want to talk about me?
ABU, Zaria, you people didn't talk about it. The people, they've come out to say that they are trying to make sure that they keep silent in this matter because it's a political, they don't want to get involved. I don't know what it would cost for them to just come out to say, okay, did he graduate or did he not graduate? It's a yes or no answer. You know, it's a yes or no answer. I know it's difficult getting certificates from, because when I tried to get my transcript, it was tough, you know. But I'm saying that ABU is a reputable university, so I don't see any reason why they will not come out to say that
they are not a motor park university. Yes. The Punch, particularly, whose correspondent was trying to reach out to them, should know the process to go through to confirm.
Right, the vice chancellor.
Yes, so let's wait for the investigation.
Particularly, honestly, I think there are bigger issues in this country than
the
certificates issue. I mean, we've come past this part.
But it's a question of integrity.
Let's move on. Let's take a quick break now. When we come back, it's Thursday, and we discuss the need for family life therapists, especially in view of all the issues we've been experiencing, domestic violence, suicidal issues, depression, you know, so many things are going on and people are not seeking for help. So we're bringing in our special guest to help us enlighten why we need family or how we can even engage family life therapists. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, we're going to talk about family therapy, but before we go there, I know Nima has a special message for a special person.
Moving on.
No, please say the no, we will be
that message is connected to our banter about somebody that wrote a letter to your husband. Please give her the message.
Please
now.
say it quickly.
Give her the message
and you
now.
have been complaining since.
No. It's who I was talking to.
Okay, the message is that she's an Edo girl. And don't try her husband. Where's my camera? She's an Edo girl. That letter you're writing to her husband, don't try her. All right, so family therapy is designed to address family problems. But research has it that in our society, a lot of people depend on religion to solve problems, thereby ignoring therapy or not even aware of it. This often heightens, or sometimes heightens, the length of the problem. Joining us is a family life therapist, our own special. Praise for we're in the building.
Yo.
Yeah, so
good to have you back, Praise.
Yeah.
You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweet. Praise.
Yeah.
A lot has happened in the last 1 week. People have been depressed. People have been thinking, even evaluating their own personal lives. That okay, am I where this gentleman was? You know, people think, what can I do to seek help? I mean, some people have been going to pastors, their mothers have been praying, family, and yet there's no resolution. We know therapists exist, but it's not really in our culture. It's not our way to engage people like you, start telling you all my family problems, all my issues. You're a third party. We've been told, don't engage a third party. So people like that, people that are going through issues right now, how do we see the reason of engaging family therapists?
Okay, I most really appreciate you guys for bringing up this topic because it's something we hardly talk about in this part of the world, and you can't blame us because if you live in the third world, one of the characteristics of a third world nation is things are done anyhow, right? There's no order, there's no format, right? So you just do things anyhow. So people use native intelligence, people use trial and error, right? And it's and I must applaud the religious leaders because while we bash them sometimes, you might want to ask yourself, without these religious leaders, only God knows how many people will be committing suicide regularly, right? But having said that, you see, you cannot give what you don't have. Globally, you know, do you have therapists? If you have a mental health issue abroad, you don't go to a prayer warrior. If you have an headache issue, you go to a medical doctor, right? If you have a prayer issue, you can go to a spiritual leader, except where the religious leader also has some level of certification and can analyze your cases professionally. Now, it's not even good when you dish out counsel, you know, that is not scientific, right? Because the person can sue you to say, you told me this, and I did, and it didn't work, right? So what we say to people is, we need to learn to do things right, because Nigeria is growing. I mean, gone are those days where people can express their mind. Now with Facebook, people express their mind, people come out openly, right? So there is the need for people at home to understand that help is available, right? As a matter of fact, before stepping into marriage, right, there are assessments that you can take that tells you from the point of assessment to say, hey, this person is not okay for you right now. You might want to postpone this wedding for another 6 months before, you know, because you see, marriage is two people coming from two different nations to form a new nation. So take, for instance, and this is a big issue in a lot of women, assessment will reveal that. So if I run an assessment on Uwa, and the assessment shows that Uwa, based on where she's coming from, our background, our parents, and everything, she's a first world lady, maybe the kind of home where, because every family, you know, every family is a nation, right? So they do things normally, anyhow, in a home, you know, your first name basis, right? So you can even call your dad by his name. That's the kind of home she came up from. Now she's getting married to this guy now these are things that they don't discuss premaritally. Now this guy, everyone is on brother basis, auntie basis, including the person that came before you a few hours, right? Now, there is a traditional family, it's a local family, you do things anyhow. That is the land of the tribe of the home. So there's every likelihood that they will not so you say, that's a Nigerian, she's a German. A Nigerian marries a German, the first problem they're going to have is language, right? Because she's going to speak German, he's going to speak Nigerian. Now, she's a first world lady, he's a third world man. Now, all he's going to be doing all his life is to drag her from first world to third world. To say, here, you kneel down for everybody. People can barge into your home without prior notice. You cook for them, whether there's food in the house or not, right? So you see all these issues, when it begins to happen, what do people now do? Now, people now begin to say, is the devil at work? I always say to people, you see, even for those who propagate religion, the only reason the Bible gave, I don't know about the Quran, for people to perish is not lack of prayer. Lack of knowledge. It's lack of knowledge. All right. My people pray for lack of knowledge. Okay, and that knowledge is available, but question is, who do I go to? How do I know who to go to?
All right, 1 second. Let me get to welcome.
Because that is a fundamental issue, especially why we have a lot of problems in marriage. In this situation, a young man commits suicide, right? And I have a theory about failure. How do we start to make people see failure, that this is just one way not to do the thing? Do you understand? Because sometimes I believe that a lot of people, because they see themselves as failures, most times those kind of people, they begin to nurse suicidal thoughts. Yeah. Because they cannot just, you know, disassociate themselves from the situation that failed. Yeah. They have joined themselves with the failure, one and the same. Yeah. So how do we help those kind of people?
Well, you can't blame them, because if you look at the way we're socialized, right? So a guy writes an exam, right? 7 subjects, and he fails maths. What do we tell him? You have failed. We don't separate the subject from the person. Right? So he internalized that all his life. I'm a failure. Then he gets to work. He can't meet his target. His boss tells you, we will fire you here. You are a failure. So that reinforces what he's had all his life. Right? And his parents look at him. He's not bringing money. He's tagged the failure. What do we tag success in Nigeria? Ability to drive a car. You got a good job. You can pay your bills. Maybe you can travel abroad. In fact, every time you travel, post a picture, you see people say, big boy. Since when has ability to travel become synonymous to big boyism? So everyone, and that's one, I was addressing this on social media yesterday, we've been socialized to pretend, not to be real. When I was younger, an average family, you gathered, you know, outside your house, your father brought palm wine, everybody drank, you played, there were tales and folk were tales and what have you. But along the line, I think religion came and said, that's wrong, that's an error. So our socialization was replaced with activity.
Can't drink palm oil again.
Way back, you know, even without religion, you could play with your friends, male, female, hold hands, no string attached, nothing. If you do that right now, someone looks at you and say, you're going to fall. So our environment has created us to self-sabotage, right? By rules and regulations. So more rules keep coming. If you do this, you miss heaven. If you do this, you will fail.
Yeah, but
so everyone now tries to avoid that failure. And You see, because they can also say that. So, for example, if you do something that you're not proud of, right? You'd rather internalize it, not because it can't be said out. So, for example, take, for instance, sexual issues. Someone commits adultery, right? So he internalizes because he doesn't know the response. They're going to suspend him. Meanwhile, within the same system, someone has been lying forever. Who doesn't get punished? We say that's it. So you realize that people are not sure of the response of the.
So we are being cultured to pretend.
To pretend, and once you pretend, you deny. I mean, I'll give you an example. I sit with women who are going through depression, regularly married women, and professionally, by the time I begin to profile, guess what I find out? What is happening to them is actually that the child in them is upset with the adults they've become. Before marriage, they wanted to travel around the world, they wanted to do business, but they married a man who says, you must stay at home, you must cook, you must do. Now, and these were ladies that some of them came out with first class, right? So now they are seeing their mates, who they used to teach in class, do well. Some of them are single, right? And they are looking at their lives, and it's as if their life is ebbing away, right? So that's killing a lot of them.
That's enough to kill someone. That's enough to really depress you.
Unfortunately, some of their husbands is either, maybe the guy is a minister or a pastor or a religious leader.
They can't speak about it.
They can't speak about it. You know.
Let Waike come in here for a second.
Yeah, no, because I was going to say, when you were talking about religion doesn't allow you to, I realize it's not only religion.
No, yeah.
All these devices too have made us internalize, and we don't
Socialize.
because we haven't had lights in our house for about 1 month. So the other day I go home, so we were all sitting outside, my brother, his children, I was teaching them how to play hopscotch, you know, sway. They don't know about hopscotch. This is what we played, because when we were growing up, there was no TV. TV came on at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. So there were no phones, there were no games, so we all had to play. We all learned 10-10, all those things. There's something like that.
You know,
our children are not learning those things.
You're actually correct. You know, like I said, so for example, people don't even know how to breathe. There's a technique to breathing. People don't know because nobody taught them, right? People don't know how to talk. People don't know how to handle pressure. To say, can you activate the power of meaning? To say, hey, so if let's say, it's coming to work and her shoe gets torn, right? She's likely going to.
There were no phones, there were no games, so we all had to play. We all learned 10-10, all those things. There's something like that.
You know,
our children are not learning those things.
You're actually correct. You know, like I said, so for example, people don't even know how to breathe. There's a technique to breathing. People don't know because nobody taught them, right? People don't know how to talk. People don't know how to handle pressure. To say, can you activate the power of meaning? To say, hey, so if let's say, it's coming to work and her shoe gets torn, right? She's likely going to go back home because she doesn't want people to. So people have created an image around her. She's a fashionista, right? Meanwhile, if she was a child, what she'll just do is she'll get safety pin, hook it, and continue to.
I can even hold it in my hand and be walking.
But we can't do that anymore because
all right, we need to take a break. We need to take a break. But you mentioned something about pressure. Now, when we come back, I want us to talk about the kind of pressure men go through, because there's so much pressure in you achieving, because you think you're the man. You have to get married, you have to have a job, you have to have a car. There's so much pressure. Who mounts this pressure on us? How do we, the men, manage this societal pressure? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. So let Nima jump in here.
Praise, when you were talking, it seemed to me like the definitions that we give to things in life is why we're where we are. Yes. Then, traditionally, we have ways we do these things. Yeah. Traditionally, a therapist is a strange matter. Nobody wants to. You're a third party. That's what you are. You're a married couple. Most husbands will not even follow their wives to a therapist. That's the way it is. And here you have to get the couple there. A woman might be willing, but a man most times will not come. Yeah. The entire family setting, they think, don't worry, just bring your husband and your story to us. We'll settle you people while you're on your knees, and that's how it's done. How do we change this narrative? That's one. Now, I want to isolate it. I had 3 questions in mind. I might not be able to get the time to bring them. That's why I'm rushing them. The case of the Oji Orwell, his issue, he had always had it, and the mother had always prayed about it. they'd never, you know, they might never, I don't know for a fact whether they sought a therapist. Is it only him suffering the depression that needed a therapist, or even the family, the entire family members?
So let's start with those two first.
Okay, now the first thing that you mentioned, and that's very profound. So every wedding ceremony, you hear things like marriage is between the two of you. Don't bring in a third party. Now, that's in itself, it's not totally correct. What they should have said is don't look for a sensible third party. Because if you say don't bring in a third party, your wife is pregnant. Who delivers your wife?
Doctor.
Is that not a third party? Right? You need a job, right? And you need career counseling. You want to change. Who do you go to?
A third
party. But when it now comes to, so when it's not working, you need people who can work with you, right? So what we need to do, and you see, I think we have some self-sabotaging, what we call them adage and narratives in Africa that we need to change. One of them, you say, Yoruba people, we have this adage that says, an elephant does not blow while its child blows, right? The area came from something like that. Now, so if you look at that, and that's what has defined our leadership over time. That's why a man feels he's all in all, his wife has no say, his children. But what if, is there scarcity of horns to start with? Scarcity of trumpet. Now, if there's no scarcity of trumpet, why can't father blow treble, son blows alto, another son blows tenor, another one blows bass?
And success of the entire family.
Yeah. So you realize that when these things come up, and it depends on the mouth, because here in Nigeria, we depend on old people, we depend on religious leaders, right, to give us wisdom. So we believe that once this man that we respect says it, it's correct.
Okay, before you answer the second question, let me take additional question.
So the second question...
before you answer that question, let me take additional. Additional, are you there? Oh, sorry, lost that. So the second question, was
for the
okay, now, when you have a situation like, so for example...
He was going through depression.
Let me go away from orgy. So you have a child that's molested, right? And you come to therapy. It's not that child that is abused. It's not only that child. There are the child, the parent, and the culprit, right? All of them need some form of or the other, because if you don't deal with that guy, let's say you now send him to prison, by the time he comes back, he's going to come out more dangerous, because prison does not take a behavioral problem away. Now, his parents, how do they handle this matter? So, for example, the orgy's case, right? The mother, the father, the siblings, the support system around him, right? All of them needed to have gotten someone who can work with him.
Look, let me take additional. Additional, are you there? Thanks for calling. Thanks for calling, additional. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Good morning.
You see, the Bible says, let everything that has breath to praise his name. And the rate of suicidal, of course, is alarming. Hello?
We can hear you very clearly. Please keep talking.
Sorry, I want to bring in a scenario, because I think for me personally, up until social media, a lot of things were happening that we were not aware of.
Yes.
But for the rise in social media, we now hear so many things that had been going on.
True.
You know, so there's a place where the social media is also playing. But you see, I was just talking to the ladies in the makeup room. I said, for instance, the whole of last week that I took a break off the show, I just needed a place where I could go and clear my head from the things I was going through personally. A lot of people right now, we do not have a good support structure. We are afraid that if I tell YK, for instance, that this is what I am going through, instead of, helping me, it now becomes a subject of discussion between her and somebody else. Because we always attach,
not
YK, or not you.
Oh, it's an example.
Why did you point to me?
So, okay, but the thing is, we do not have, I was telling them, they said, no, Kai, they can never share. We don't have friends anymore that we can actually cry together with. Yeah. We do not have that strong support group that you can just share it and you are not ashamed. So I think for me, I'm advising people, before you will tell my secret, I will tell it on my behalf. Yeah. Because a lot of people are just ashamed that if my secret comes out, the whole world will know.
And there's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun.
Let me give you an example. I was on Saturday, I was invited by the Catholic Church to come and address their parents on issues like this. And for the first time, I saw, I got there early and I saw people going for confession. And it just hit me. And I understood it for the first time. That, This, you know, we used to criticize them. Then why would you going to be confessing? You don't know the therapeutic effect of what these guys do. So friendship has been taken from us. It's been replaced with pretense. When was the last time you were walking along the road and you saw people just hug for like 5 minutes, right, on the road? You won't see, because they will say, will people be looking at you? Or two male? They will say, we are gay now. You know, so you see all kinds of, you know, rules flying across, and all these things are designed to kill us. And that's why we never, I mean, ask yourself, when was the last time you took a walk and observed the moon outside your house at night? I did it yesterday, right? Early in the morning. I mean, dude.
Okay, let me take this call.
I'm not even notice the flowers.
Let me take this call from Kaduna. Angel, are you there?
Sad.
I'd like to say something.
Hello,
Angel, thanks for calling, Angel. Go ahead.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good morning.
We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm a first-time caller. I'm calling
Thanks
from
for calling.
Kaduna. Now, what I want to say is this. The religious people are not really helping matters. They're not really helping matters. I have been in this situation before. I had to seek help. I had to seek help. I got counseling, saw a psychiatrist, put me on medication, started thinking rationally and things like that. Everything you have to have prayers. And there'll be prayers. After seeing a psychiatrist, you also see a psychiatrist. Things will go well. There are so many people that have these problems, and that's why they run to religious houses. And these religious houses will tell you to pray. They don't even ask you to take medications and then, you know, add their own prayers to it. That's just all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ethel.
I wanted to say, the other day, I was thinking to myself that if I'm not careful, I'm going to have a heart attack. Because I have so much pressure. I'm under so much pressure from my work, pressure from my business, money issues, you know, and I just thought to myself, okay, if I continue like this, I'm going to just break down and die. And people will say, she was well yesterday. But I feel it. I feel the pressure. It's mounting. And then I was discussing with my partner. I was saying, I'm not feeling too good with my brain. You know, because it's happening to everybody. Yeah. It's not just me.
I'll give an example, of what happened to me this morning. But let me take Deji's call. Deji, are you there?
Hello, how are you?
Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
All right. What I'm saying, or what I see here, is the fact that we have a lot of troubles.
Oh, so sorry, Deji. I had that experience almost this morning, because I woke up and I was just irritated. I felt a feel of frustration, and I was upset. And I was waking up the kids, bathing them. Inside me, I had something that was paining me. My husband comes in from jogging, talking about, Hamra, how's my skin? And I'm wondering, leave me, I don't care about your skin, just leave me, I want to be alone. But you see, in all that depression, with frustration within me, my little son hurts himself, and that made me snap out of it. Like, okay, there's more things that are more important than you right now. Your little boy is crying because he hurt himself this morning. But you see, even though I attended to him, I still felt my own needs are still not met. As a woman,
what did you do about it?
I came to work. Because, so as a woman,
and that's what we do. We file it away, and we say time heals all things. Time never heals anything. It's not true. Right? So the day, and God forbid, the day you're going to, maybe you just slap someone.
Right? That's when
and they'll say, because that part is stored in the quadrant we call the unknown, in the Juarez windows of you. Right? So you need to, and that part should have been attended to. You should have talked to your husband. You say, you know what? I just need a hug.
I don't have time. I'm going to work. I'm running late. I have to have my bath. At that moment, I don't have the time to have that conversation.
You do have that time. You do have that time. I told my husband, this thing you were saying. Sorry,
I disagree that you
don't.
No, I do have that time. Because you see, Murayo and YK, if you drop dead, all these things that you were doing, those were all activities. It will still go on whether you're there or not. The most important person right now in this universe is you. So you need to be mentally sound. When I feel depressed like that, I voice it out. Before, I used to bottle up a lot of feelings. But I noticed that those feelings bottling up, it's not healthy for me.
Okay,
so let me take this call, then I'll come to you. Daniel, are you there? From Benue.
Yes.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
I want to ask a question before I go forward. My first question is, please, who and who do somebody meet for depressed? Because Let me be sincere to you. And now, that is why I wanted to go somewhere because of this your program. I just tried to listen because I'm very, 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 because this is what I go through right now. So I just want to know who is the right person for you to go to.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
When you have this type of problem. That's my own question. Because
and where do you find them? That's a good question. Who do you go to and where do you find them?
And number two is that we need love. We need love. Most of us don't have somebody who show us that love. Maybe sometimes the people who you think that, like your mother, your parents who will show you love, they are not there to show you that love. Sometimes you just feel as if everything is over.
Yeah, right.
So
Thank you very much, Daniel.
Now, I'm going through that problem, so I don't know the person.
Daniel, continue to watch and listen in. I'm going to let Praise answer that question. Can you rush it for the break?
I think it's a clinical psychologist. If you can also say psychiatrist, right? But I'll also say if you have a professional counselor around you, see them, because oftentimes I realize the Nigerians use the word depression carelessly, right? So someone that is sad, say that I'm depressed. Someone that is frustrated says I'm depressed. So you need to, because you cannot self-diagnose and say you are depressed.
What's the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist?
Okay, after the break you answer that question. Stay with us, we'll be right back after the break.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Oh, Praise, we're running so much out of time.
So you were going to answer the
caller. The caller's question.
Well, you see, both of them are mental health practitioners.
They're psychology and psychiatrists.
So I would actually say, and even psychology has different ranges. So you have clinical psychologists are totally different. So when it comes to depression issue, especially, that's why you need to go to a clinical psychologist first, so that
Where do we find them?
They are available. You go to any hospital, ask for, especially the general hospitals, right? Ask for the psychologist or any psychiatry clinic. You know, the problem in Nigeria is you go to Yaba Lab, people think that you have them. You don't need to be mad to go to those such places. They are mental health practitioners, right? Then you now have family life practitioners, you now have counselors, who have been trained.
Do they have like a website that people
Well, unfortunately, counseling as a profession in Nigeria is just evolving, right? Okay. So you can, and another problem now is, that's why we don't, so you see people online, this person say, everybody says I'm a life coach. Well, everybody is a life coach.
Exactly.
Everybody is a life coach.
Quickly run us through. If you had a client who had a mental issue, what will you be looking at? What exactly does a therapist do for a person that, the person might not ever get to do at home?
Well, you see, what a therapist does, a therapist never gives you the solution initially. The first thing we want to do is to present perspectives and find a solution through you and say, what exactly is upsetting you? So someone is upset with himself. He says, I'm a failure, right? Or he says, my husband is making me go crazy. I'm going to go crazy. And you say, is it your husband that is making you go crazy? Or you have never been happy all your life? So you drill it down, so you break it down. So you are asking the question why and how. Because there's a strategy for getting angry. There's a strategy for getting depressed. So we elicit that strategy and you show you. And say, if you remove this from this thing, So I was working with a guy yesterday who, his biggest problem is every time he remembers his in-laws, he gets very berserk. And that was affecting him. It was affecting his job. So I had to take him I had to dissociate him from the situation, put him in a suspended position and say, observe your in-laws from afar. Right? You know their history. You know what their father did to them. You know what they've gone through. If you, with all this information from a suspended position, how would you rate them? That maybe if I was in their shoe, I would have done the same thing. Right? So what you do is you bring clarity. Now, once you have brought clarity, now there are other issues that might need, so you want to scramble a thought process, you want to do a beliefs change, you want to do parts integration in some, there are so many interventions depending on the situation, right?
I have to pause you for a second. Abdullah is waiting for a while. Abdullah, are you still there?
Yes.
Oh, thanks for calling. Thanks. Go ahead,
First time caller.
Go ahead, Abdullah.
I really like the topic you guys are discussing this morning. You see, the problem of depression is a very big problem in this part of the country. And I think what we have to do is maybe to add some kind of a topic which discuss this actual problem in secondary schools
So the people will have the little bit knowledge on how to deal with this kind of problem when they are having. Because when I was in secondary school, I experienced this kind of a problem, but I was able to deal with it somehow in not committing any kind of a crazy something.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's take some tweets.
Can I take some tweets? Alex Ogundagbe says, are therapists bound by patient therapist secrecy? Pastors could speak about it on the pulpit. Okpe says the main cause of depression is originating from the relations. Many don't watch their tongues before talking.
Okay.
I wanted to say something.
How affordable is a therapist? Sorry.
Well, it's a therapist. For example, if I look at my organization, what we've done is every Thursday, everything we do free sessions for people every Thursday. Yeah, that's what we call our CSR day, because we realize that people might not be able to afford, because it also ranges. So, you know, averagely is like 10,000 per session, thereabout, depending on who is saying you, right? Sometimes it can be as high as 40,000. But first thing we want to do is to first of all run an assessment on you, right? To know exactly what the problem is, you know, and that will drill down into your childhood. Then we will do a professional report.
Do HMOs, you know, cover
and well, it also depends on that the side of it depends on the side. So what I do is family life therapy, right? So the tool we use is called family system engineering, you know, which we do certifications regularly, right? So HMOs might not cover that, but we have different packages for families. We have different packages for people that people can take advantage of there, you know. But what I always say to people is this, and that's what all my colleagues say all the time, that you say, let's save a life first before funds. So I see people come sometimes, and honestly, they don't have money. I can't turn them away. I have to sit with them. I have to refer them to people who can help. And sometimes you're working with people and you realize, oh, this person needs a psychiatrist. You don't say you want to do it. Right? And that's where I need to appeal to pastors. Please get trained as a pastor, right? Because it's not all cases that is deliverance. You know, I mean, I was in counseling room one day, and the woman had paid. She paid 25,000, and for 1 hour, she just kept reading a story. And her time was over, and she said, "Please, can I pay extra?" I said, "No problem." I was just taking notes. After 2 hours, this woman stood and said, "Praise, you know what? Thank you. You don't need to say anything. I'm just fine." Now she paid to get, you see, people talk too much. No one is listening. So you go to social media, everyone wants to hold the mic. Everyone wants to talk. Everyone has an opinion. We're doing Facebook Live. We're doing everything, right? No one wants to listen. Meanwhile, we actually need more listeners, not more speakers. And that's what we need.
Because I just wanted to just add to that, you know, sorry Wyken. Yesterday when we were having the session with the girls, I'm sure for the first time they saw themselves just beyond just, you know, beauty pageants contestants. You know, when I asked them, for instance, I said, okay, how many of you have told yourself you loved yourself? I mean, look at yourself in the mirror. Because a lot of times we're seeking validation from the outside world. That validation will not come. You only attract what you have on your inside.
Oh, wow. You can't blame them. You say,
no, that's what I'm saying.
There's an exercise I do in class. There's an exercise I do in class, right? I ask people to praise themselves for 10 minutes without quoting scriptures.
Some people are unable to find the words.
They can't even do it because we've been socialized to praise God. So if you ask them praise God, they can find all kinds of oriki. If you say praise the next person, they can do it.
Well,
praise themselves.
But
you need to exist before.
Thank you. So that is where I'm going. Because sometimes, because sometimes we seek validation from the outside world. That validation will not come. The reason somebody will see me today and appreciate me and say you're beautiful is because before I left my house this morning, I have said it to myself facing my mirror. So I'm just appealing with people. Yes.
I know how people start their day is also very important. I was teaching it on social media yesterday that don't just start your day anyhow. Don't just sleep anyhow. There's a strategy. There's a procedure.
See, these things are nice and beautiful. Unfortunately, you don't have more time. When you are sickle cell, you have crisis every day, or you have HIV, or you have so many things you're dealing with. The family is putting you under pressure, society is putting you under pressure. There's so much. It's hard for you. It's good to say I'm beautiful, but when those real issues, that's reality. It's difficult for you to go through the day.
Oftentimes we exaggerate our problem. So there's a difference between fact and opinion. Opinions are exaggerated facts.
That is it.
Right? So someone is unhappy about an isolated event. that person looks at himself and say, I'm depressed, I'm frustrated. So it takes a therapist to isolate that event and say, oh, no particular area of my life is working, but you are breathing, you are walking, your legs are working, but you can't sit. So you need someone to bring you back.
Just as Moreni, you are breathing.
Okay, we have to round up.
Even with the HIV, with everything, right? There are still people. There are still people living that same thing that you have, yet achieving a lot.
Yeah.
So you need to redefine what success means to you.
But we need to say, I need to say this, and I need to warn people. If you want to work with any therapist, you want to work with any professional, please ask him what certification does he have. Very important. Yes. Does it belong to any established organization where, when he misbehaves, you can report him and his license can be withdrawn? If he doesn't have that, please
that's the most important thing.
Run for your life. Run for your life. And we need more people. There are trainings that people can go through. There are certifications people can take.
We need more therapists out there.
Yeah, that can help them help more people. You see, it's overwhelming.
That's all we can take, unfortunately. Thank you very much, Praise.
So true.
We really need more people out there. And please, I think one of our guests said, one of our callers said, show love.
Yes.
You need love. Love is key. Even if you don't do the professional help, showing love to the next
hug someone.
Hug
someone.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Don't hug Elijah.
I can't hug.
Hug someone.
But you see what religion has done to us? You see what religion has done to us?
That's not religion alone.
But if you were my baby friend. Bye-bye.